welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dubston, and thank you for joining me here for our monthly overview, the I Ching overview for October 2023. Well, let's just cast our minds back, right, to September. Recap what the I Ching asked us to pay attention to. Did we get the lesson? Did we apply the wisdom of the higher self through the I Ching last month? We had Hexagram 61 centered truth, a whole pile of changing lines, and we were encouraged to be open, to be aligned, to see truth, and to work with being lined up internally and externally and open to what it is we really need to see. We also had Hexagram 12 standstill, which is all about stopping obstruction, things just going nowhere, being misunderstood, not being able to move forward, and the risk of getting really, really frustrated. I was merely going through September thinking, there's no sign of standstill, it'll be okay. And boom, as we turned the corner on the first part of September, we had an incident with the electricity box near our home, in our block, and the entire block lost electricity for over 24 hours. Standstill, right. Plus, people getting sick all around me. Child, colleagues, family, you name it, everyone's sick and just struggling to move forward, hitting a standstill. So perhaps you had that experience as well as you looked around you at your friends and family and colleagues and were able to see the centered truth and the standstill manifesting. And for you too, did you have something come up for you that drew your attention to these two hexagrams and how they came to help you with their wisdom? Right, so here we are, October. Let's get into it. So our first hexagram, our main situation, our main focus for this month, it's not a locked hexagram, it's one changing line, is hexagram 63 after completion. You will remember that recently we have had this one locked for our monthly hexagram. So here it is back. We are still finishing things. This hexagram is all about crossing that great water, crossing that great river, where we are literally in the last third of the river. We're about to finish the journey, and it's about holding the line, okay? We're almost at that point of tipping over into the new cycle. We're not yet back to hexagram 1, the creative. We're in that space of just lipping into the last stage of finishing the finishing, is what I say. And so our task is to hold our line, to hold the course, and to finish the journey. All right? This is not a time to change the strategy, to change the plan, to get creative. This month, there are important things on our dashboard that we need to finish. And there are things we are already finishing, not things we are starting. And of course, you know, the saying goes, it's how you start that counts. And you've heard me say before, it's not just about how you finish that counts, but how you start and you finish. Double trouble. And so this month, our focus is being drawn to how you finish. That's what counts. How you close it off. Close off the cycle. Maintain order, maintain discipline, and focus. Hold your line. Think about a whole bunch of cyclists, like maybe the Tour de France. And one cyclist in the middle is saying, hold your line, hold your line. They shout at each other. And that's the idea, this pack, we're going through this process. And if one happens to just kind of veer off, the entire pack of cyclists can come a cropper. So, holding our line this month as we work with understanding completion, working through closing things off. I would suggest, let's make it practical. Make a list of all the things that you are finishing, that you really need, that are really important to be finished, right? Critical things, not the nice things, the critical things that will accelerate you forward, accelerate your team, your business, your life. Finish those things. Release the energy attached to them. Complete them. But complete them well, okay? Hold your line. Hold the idea you had in mind of how you want to bring it in for a landing and do that. Now, this month we have only one changing line, as I said. It's in the second position, and it's a changing line that is very close to my heart. Okay, this changing line, the little phrase that goes with it, the lady loses the curtains of her carriage. Never fear, in 7 days she will get them back. Okay, so in this process of completion, the second line, so second from the bottom, okay, there's this journey here of the protective outer coverings of the carriage of the lady going through town, okay, have been whipped away, maybe by somebody or by the wind, okay. And it would be improper for the lady to not have curtains, okay. She's exposed, she's now acting in an improper manner because she's not traveling in her sedan with the curtains around her. And it is tempting to rush out and try and get curtains, to try and put it back, to try and claw back and bring back what you have lost, okay, to regain your sense of propriety and well-being and all those things that go with this symbol. And this changing line, the task is not to do that, because in 7 days they'll come back. So there's a process around this changing line where it directs our attention to something that we have lost. Either it's been removed, it's dropped away, it's fallen away. Is this a client? Is this a protection? What is this thing that's been ripped away that suddenly I feel exposed and vulnerable? Okay, so wherever you feel that exposure and that vulnerable, that's probably a good warning sign where this energy of these curtains is coming from. And do not race after it. Don't lose your mind, don't lose your dignity by trying to claw it back and force it back. Let it go, and in 7 days it will return. So there's a process here of accepting a temporary change in situation and restraining oneself from rushing after what has been ripped off. We can do it. Okay, so here's my personal story. Many years ago, my husband and I went on a flight from Zurich to Seattle. We were in Seattle for 8 days. There was a problem on our flight leaving Zurich. We had family there. And when we arrived in Seattle, our bags did not arrive. And our bags arrived the day before we left Seattle, the 7th day. Now, why is that significant? Because for that time period, I'd asked the I Ching about my trip in my life, and I got this hexagram and this changing line. And it was, you may lose the curtains of your carriage, but don't worry, in 7 days you'll get it back. And it's always been such a joke in our family about this story of this changing line, because there we were in Seattle, no clothing, okay, all the clothing, the curtains of the carriage were still sitting in Zurich, and 7 days later we got them back, and a day later we got on the plane and came home. So this changing line really sits with me in my memory bank as being an amazing story of just calm down, you will get through this, whatever you think you've lost, it comes back. You don't have to lose your dignity in racing after it. If you have, in a relationship situation, for example, someone who's stormed out the door, right, and the urge is to race after them and bring them back, okay, immediate action, just listen to my words, okay, and just relax. 7 days, things change. Okay, so wherever you feel vulnerable, where something has been stripped, all right, your clothing, your outer protection, this line is for you. Okay. So where does that lead? Round about the 15th of the month, right? Remember, the lines can be dated in a monthly format easily as the lines go from the bottom to the top. So around about the 15th of October, this line matures. So it really just is with us for the first 2 weeks, probably for the month. Use it as an experiment and see what happens in your own life. Okay, so where does that lead to? Our second hexagram for this month, how this evolves and transforms our journey that we're looking to expand into, is hexagram 5, waiting. So I think it's really interesting that with this changing line, where we're being called to be patient and not rush after the thing that we think we've lost, our hexagram, it also ties into this month, is hexagram 5, waiting. Okay, so there's a doubling of waiting and patience here. This hexagram, if you look at the structure, is water at the top, okay, and the bottom trigram is heaven. So visualize that the water is beyond heaven. It seems far away. Okay, this is a symbol of looking into the sky and seeing the rain clouds in the far distance, but they're not yet here. You can see they're accumulating and they're starting to build up power and they're moving towards you, but they're not yet here. It speaks to a process of change and our development. We have to cultivate patience and appreciate that things take time. Good things take time. And we have to appreciate that our journey is about not just sitting and waiting, okay, and tapping the fingernails, okay, and counting down until the clouds arrive, but to actively wait. And by that I mean is get ready, prepare, do everything you can while you are waiting for those clouds to get ready for the clouds. The aqueducts, the irrigation system, the dams, the tanks, whatever, about collecting the water when it rains, right? It's being ready. So this is not a month where we calmly sit and wait. Oh no, we prepare, we get ready, we do whatever we can to be ready for the thing that we are waiting on. And we cultivate an inner peace that it will come, that we will get what we need, that it is on its way, and we just have to chill. Okay, so a very interesting month for us to work with both this idea of finishing, putting our energy into finishing the finishing, closing things off well, becoming known for our expertise in our graceful closure of projects and relationships and things around us, closing things off, ending off the cycle, clearing out, okay, the closet. And of course, someone comes to clear out some of our closet too while we wait and wait and wait. But the rain clouds are coming. We must prepare, we must get ready, and we must use the time in October to build those trenches, to demonstrate our faith through our actions and through our inner peace. Oh, good luck for the month of October. If you are new to the channel, please join us as a subscriber or as a follower. And of course, like and share if this was meaningful to you. Every like really helps the channel. And I look forward to connecting with you very, very soon for our first weekly overview for October. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.